I love laddu. Actually, I do love laddu. We all know how much I love laddu.
चाहे तुम कुछ ना कहो मैंने सुन लिया.
Are you even brown if you don't argue about who will pay the bill at the end?
Yo!
Guys, I'm on my
Anusheh's
phone.
joint.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of What's Brown Got to Do with It. This one, I'm not going to lie, is a bit of a mad one. It's already started with great insanity, but this is an extra special one, a fun one, and it's the family edition. So I would like to welcome my cousins and my sister to this podcast. Hello,
Hello.
everyone.
Hey, Shad.
All right, so we'll go around the room introducing yourselves from excluding me, eldest to the youngest. Go figure it out.
I'm Neville. I'm Shah's sister. I'm the oldest.
I'm Fahad. I'm the next oldest. I'm a cousin.
I'm Sami. I'm the next oldest, but strictly speaking, Ned, Shad is actually the oldest, so don't worry.
Thanks, Sami.
I'm Shmoyel. I'm the next in line, and Shadia's favorite cousin.
I'm Anusheh. I'm the next oldest.
You're the
You're
Like
the youngest, mate.
youngest.
I know I'm the youngest.
Anyway, thank you all. Welcome to the show. So I did say that this one's just going to be freestyle because you're all bakwas and didn't help me. As Fahad said, it was my problem to think about content for this particular episode. But we wanted to keep it light and fun. And so it's not going to be a very long one because we took 30 minutes to all congregate. So let's start off with, all right, rapid fire, right? Let's start off with what is the most desi thing you do or have done? I'm going to start with this one. You know, like when you walk over somebody and then you have to walk back because they won't grow.
Is that a
Have you
thing?
never heard that? I swear,
Yeah.
people were walking over me my whole life or something because, you know, it's not fair.
I don't know how desi that is.
You know that when you walk
That was a
over
desi
somebody.
That sounds more village
Yeah.
folktale stuff.
Yeah, maybe a desi village folktale.
What about
But
taking
it's
your
there.
shoes off when you come into the house?
Oh, yeah.
Shadia, I didn't tell you that once I walked over you and then I didn't walk back over. And it was
Anyways,
deliberate. So that I could like keep bullying you.
you know, I feel like this Hobbit thing came from somewhere. I knew it. Knew it was you. Okay, what else?
I remember
Um,
early
Most basic thing
teenager
you do.
Oh, flipping the
jump
chapel
over.
over.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
one.
Oh
Definitely
yeah, the
chapel.
flipping. That's
Yeah.
bad luck.
Do we need to
That's bad
translate
luck, you can't do
chapel
that.
here? Like, I don't understand who your audience is.
Slippers.
Chapels.
Flip flops.
Slipper.
Barter.
Any shoes. Isn't it any
Legendary
shoes?
barter.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
any
But
shoes.
we say
Yeah.
chapels. What was yours, Fahad? In your own time. You had one.
I swear you just said that.
I think it was Sami that
Yeah,
was
you had one. Or was it
Oh,
Sami?
yeah.
No, I had one, which
I
was
thought Fahad was talking. Yeah, go on,
which
Fahad, you go.
was- It wasn't something I did, but something I witnessed, and I probably reenacted it before I became a teenager, which was clicking your fingers at people to get their attention. I don't like it, but like
Oh.
the men in the desi world, they like the click. So it was a behavior that I had to eradicate as soon as I learned it because I didn't like it.
I reckon
Never
mine is
used
probably.
that on you.
I reckon mine's probably eating with my hands.
Yeah.
What about
your
Mine
shop?
is probably ironically saying it, albeit, but juice schmoosh and stuff like that. What is that about?
Party shorty.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what?
Don't pretend like you say it ironically, bro.
Yeah, like you don't know what
Yeah,
you're
nah,
doing.
it's just me.
Oh, and then biscuit and like border.
Yeah, what's
Wait,
this one all about?
When you speak
Me
in
and
Urdu, then you kind of have to like make all the English words sound
yeah, like
like
what? Anusha, we were
I
talking
do
about
that.
this last time, right?
Tomato.
Tomato is tomato.
Tomato.
Yeah.
No,
Where's
my
that
favorite is
all from? Tomato.
ice cream. Ice cream.
I've never said that.
that?
You're mad.
Neither have I.
What?
That's all you, Sean.
On your own,
That
mate.
sounds wrong.
That's the stuff I put on
Yeah.
Sarah in a nappy change, man.
Ice cream. Ice cream. What's yours,
Wow.
Faye?
I don't.
Oh, by the way, I just want to introduce my sister who was completely missing from the podcast, the one with my sister, but she wasn't a figment of my imagination. There she is. Now you can see what she looks like.
What
Welcome.
about calling every elderly auntie or uncle, whether they're related to you or not?
Yeah, that's a
It's
good
so
one.
weird from the outside looking in.
All my
Yeah.
yeah, they don't know.
Yeah,
My-
like how we
My
related,
kids call
mate.
all my friends
Yeah.
auntie. They're like, okay.
But I think that's also common in like
Yeah.
African, some African cultures as well.
Yeah, it is, definitely is.
Western.
Shad, you can tell me if this is. Shad, you can tell me if this is still a thing with Aman or not. But like, I feel like our generation was big on like massaging the older generation's like feet or like giving a shoulder massage or whatever. Like growing up, I remember walking on like Fahad's dad's back like for time, like whenever he came to visit. But I don't think kids do it anymore.
Yeah, because
No,
in
no,
that
no,
time-
they do. I've seen a man do it to Shadi
Yeah,
on the massage.
Yeah, I make him, but it's actually called child labor, and that abolished in like 2000 and something. And basically, they made us do those things, and we can't make our kids do those things now. So, yeah,
you have
that's
to
what
pay
it is.
them.
But you,
They can. if you
Shadi,
pay
I
them.
saw a man massaging your foot with a massage gun.
Yeah, because my feet hurt,
I
and you know
literally
what?
sent him the video of it the other day.
Yeah, because my feet hurt, and heaven is at my
Child
feet,
labor.
and so basically, he's just massaging his way into heaven. Like, really?
I think this is one of those things which happens to diaspora. We
Yeah.
pass on trauma. Right?
Exactly.
Fine.
What's Brown got to do with it?
Trauma
Everything.
bonding. Trauma bonding. Okay, so the next thing
It's
is
like, go on.
no, please go on the Shmoyel show.
It's like, you know, when we have kids and everything, we're gonna give them the same terrible like bowl cuts and like dress them up in stupid outfits.
I'm not gonna do that.
Oh no, no,
That's
Amar never
passing
dressed
on
up.
trauma,
In,
right?
I can do that.
Amar never dressed up in stupid
No.
outfits.
That's a shame.
I did not allow that. But which actually brings me to the next one, and that is, are you even brown if, right? So for example, are you even brown if you haven't dressed your kids in head to toe Ralph Lauren?
What if you don't have kids?
What?
Okay, then you give another one. Are you even
Are you brown?
Are you even brown if your parents haven't made you watch Bhagwan, the 3-hour lecture?
Oh my, the lecture, yeah.
Okay, are you even brown if you haven't opened a box of ice cream and found sewing kit in there?
Correct.
Yeah.
Or dal.
Yeah.
Or dal.
the
But nah,
biscuit tin.
but it's the biscuit. It's that royal Danish biscuit tin, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
know
one.
it. You know
That's-
it. One of them. See the ice cream tub?
The ice cream,
ice
the ice cream
cream
tub's full of
tub.
dal and Stalin, bruv. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're very
That's
creative with our
It's a shame.
containers. I think all immigrants are
Are you even brown if?
We recycle.
upcycle.
Are you even brown if your granddad or your dad didn't have one of those, you know, those brown beaded things on the car seat?
Oh
Oh
yeah.
man,
wow.
uncomfortable. I don't understand how
That's
they
a
liked
throwback
it.
to the 90s, bro.
Bro, I don't get it, but they used to love it.
Yeah, why?
Apparently, it was good for like your
Good for
posture or your back or
something.
something.
I think it's because they
Yeah.
were fatter than us
Maybe.
as kids. Like,
It
we
looked
didn't
jokes,
know
though.
when we were kids.
They got terrible posture, our parents. What are you talking about?
Or maybe it was
It
good
did
for like
nothing.
kneading or like I don't know
I think it was just
acupuncture
a
or something.
massager, maybe.
Okay, I've got one. Are you even brown if you haven't been to Dubai once a year on holiday?
A year, you know.
No,
The cost of living crisis, Shad.
once in your lifetime, maybe. Every year, it's a bit much. Yeah, but all the brown.
I saved myself the tickets. I just moved.
I mean,
It was cheaper.
Dubai is kind of like
Facts.
the ideal place for Desis to live because it has all the Desi amenities and like the service and like the culture. So that's why it's become such a major destination, I think, for everyone who's brown to be like, hey, I know this flavor, but this is like the elite version of it.
Mm.
No, I know why people come. It's convenient, but then it just baffles me when people forget that like there's a whole world out there, and they're like, look at you funny if you say you've been somewhere else, and they're like, why? But why?
Yeah, it's true.
Are you even brown if
And
when you're like when you went to see family like with your mom and dad when you were a kid and they said they were gonna leave but you end up staying for like another 2 hours at the door like when they're like
oh yeah,
no like have some chai or do this or do that
oh
you knew no one was going anywhere, man. We were playing on a PlayStation or whatever it was and just carried on. We were like this isn't going to be done for another hour at least.
yeah. And you're literally like, don't call me until you sat in the car,
Yeah,
okay? 'Cause
trust me,
in the car,
absolutely.
What about, are you even brown if you don't argue about who will pay the bill at the end? You go
Yes.
someone.
Sham, remember we went for dinner,
Yeah.
like not for dinner, for brunch, like recently with Leslie. Me and Shmoyel literally arguing in front of this lady, like, and she was creasing.
Was Shamo saying Sami will pay? Sami was like, no, Shamo will pay.
No,
wait, the funniest was one Eid, Sami's friend Chris came, and what do you call it? We were in Abu Dhabi, and we had all gone for breakfast brunch with Tariq Mamu. And so we're there, and like everyone's fighting over who's gonna pay, and he's proper baffled, like he has no idea. You know, I'm like, no, I'm gonna pay. Mom's, I'm gonna pay. Somebody's, I'm gonna pay and stuff. He's sitting there going, he's like, should I pay? Should I pay?
I was like, Chris,
You're like, Chris, man, put your
I was
money
like,
away.
Chris,
Put your money
don't
away.
worry about it. Don't get involved, man.
Yeah,
Bless
stay
him.
out of it.
Bichara.
Okay.
Oh, good old Chris.
That one was jokes. Or a typical one, are you even brown if you turn up on time? Anywhere.
Oh, cool.
I think a lot of us are quite punctual.
Yeah,
All right, Sami.
Yeah.
we are. Particularly the males.
How brown are you, Anusheh?
I'm not gonna say anything right
Oh,
now. I
okay,
think I'm as
so
brown as it gets.
next question is name a brown person that you would invite to dinner and why?
Any person from any time, like living or dead?
Yeah. Anyone.
Okay. Let's have a think.
This is why I say read the group chats, you know?
Anush's got one.
I've got one. Razia Sultana.
Oh yeah, tell us why, Anusheh.
Who is Razia
Who,
Sultana?
please tell us, Anusha, who is that?
Shmoyel, please take over, and Sami. I think you guys can give a great intro.
The first female sultanate of Delhi.
Oh.
Very
Oh.
cool, very cool. This was, when was this? Is it 1230?
Yeah, around 800 years ago, give or take.
Yeah, she was a sultanate she was a sultana for 4 years. Did a lot of social reform, tried to pave the way for equality in society. Did a lot for the arts and cultures. Really cool character, and we're actually writing a book on her.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll get to that. We're gonna have a
Okay.
whole segment on that. But
Yeah.
who else would you invite to dinner?
I'd have dinner with Shoaib Akhtar. I think his stories would be jokes.
I knew you were going to bring a cricketer. I knew it.
Yeah,
I
I was
think
thinking
that-
cricketer or footballer.
Nah, I think Shoaib Akhtar would be hilarious, man. Like his stories would be too funny. That Pakistan cricket team
Yeah.
were mad.
They were rock and roll.
Yeah,
weren't they? They
yeah,
were just like,
fully.
I mean, I'd rather see.
I'm
him
not going to
on-
lie. I'm not going to name drop here, but you know, I have had dinner with Shoaib Akhtar,
Ooh.
and he is quite
Yeah, I
funny.
bet he was, man.
Oh yeah, you
There
have
you
his
go.
right.
Yeah.
very cool.
That is sick.
Who would you invite?
That was-
Shaz?
Okay.
Yeah,
who would you
had dinner
invite,
with all the
Shad?
Browns?
Magambo.
Gambo.
Charles completed it.
Yeah.
Or Gambo Khoshua.
That's all he would say the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I suppose it depends on like who's at the dinner. Who else is at the dinner? How come nobody asked who else is at this dinner?
So
Mm,
it's 1-on-1.
Yeah.
But that's not
I'd
fun.
invite you, Shad.
out of everyone, you'd have dinner with Shards, like who you've had dinner with
Because I
bare
know
times.
then it'd be fun and there'll be jokes,
Aw.
and it depends on who else is there, right?
I would invite my mum. So they-
I'd invite my grandma.
Why you're out of order? Because she's a good cook. You're so out of order. I'd invite your mum too, though.
What?
I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, and so would I actually.
It was a joke.
'Cause she's-
If okay, my serious answer, Edie.
Oh, that would be cool, actually. Yeah, that would be very cool.
Really?
Yeah,
For
yeah, yeah.
anyone who doesn't know about him, he did a lot for the homeless people, the orphans, all over Pakistan.
Mm.
That's
He was a very selfless person, so I think he deserves a massive feast.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Are you cooking, Sham?
No, I wouldn't trust myself.
I'd invite Rishi
Oh my
Sunak.
God, why?
I went there
Please
because
What?
I would like to break this down. I would like
can I
to
come as
take
well?
some. I'd like to take some time to really try and make some sense of it. Like, there's got to be a reason. There has to be some like hidden trauma there or something. There's got to
I
be.
don't think there's enough courses to go through.
Yeah. Okay, so wait, Fahad, who would you bring?
I don't know. I think I want to try and bring someone. I don't even have a name, but like whoever lived around the time of the Genghis Khan craziness. See what the hell world was like back then. I'd be curious, but
Well, Raja Sultana was around at the time of the Mongols, so
Plug it again, Boeing.
it's not even out yet. It's not even done yet.
Okay, so actually, let's use that as a segue to actually talk about what you guys do. So just to give a background, Shmoyel, Sami, Fahad, and Anusheh have a series of books, Our Story Media, and I will let them tell you exactly what these stories include because it's so cool. Who's gonna do it?
All right.
It's normally Fahad that takes the lead on this.
It's normally me, but Shmoyel, everyone's done their bit of pitching this concept in their own way, which is quite cool. And that's the good thing about this. It's come about kind of naturally, just a family-based passion project. And it all actually started because Sami came over to the house a few years ago and asked us if we'd heard of a man called Mansa Musa. And none of us had, me included. And most people that we speak to since also haven't. Turns out he's the richest man that's ever lived. And if you adjust his wealth for inflation, he's twice as rich as Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk today. So it's pretty crazy. There's some guy, turns out he was in the 13th, 14th century? I can't even remember now. There's so many people now, 14th century.
14th.
14th century,
in
yeah.
Mali, he was the emperor of Mali. And I was blown away that there was this guy from Africa who's twice as rich as the richest people that we know today. Mostly because I come from that kind of world of economics and business. So those kinds of people are usually of interest to me. And the fact that I hadn't heard of this guy was kind of shocking. and it set us down this kind of rabbit hole of all of these other amazing individuals from back in the day, from all over the world, that have done some incredible things, such as Raza Sultana, that these guys have already mentioned, um, who's a character we're working on right now. But we've also launched books on a woman called Fatima Al-Feri, who's founded the world's first university. And it was a woman who was a refugee. That university is still standing today in Morocco. Also blew my mind. Part of the reason why we have the robes and those hats at graduation is influence from her existence and what she created. And then the latest book has been on Shen Kuo, who's a guy from the second Song dynasty in China, like 11th century AD for us Westerners. He discovered True North and climate change. And the fact that all of these people existed from all over the world, I think, is a better reflection on the collective human achievement. And it's good for everyone to understand that we've all, as a society, global society, contributed to where we are today. Not just this Eurocentric history that tends to be taught in the West and elsewhere. So it's changing people's perspectives and giving people some representation, some goals, some ambitions, some new heroes that they can model themselves around. So for that reason, that series is very meaningful to us. And we've also done another series because we found that basically there's a problem with education generally in the way the systems operates. Is really kind of for factory workers, not really for people who are going to be critical thinkers and creatives. So we're trying to create more content to expand people's abilities to test themselves and not sit behind a screen as much, and be a bit more interactive and physical, and also teach them more fundamental life skills, because that's also not taught in schools. When to have a good how important it is to have a good bedtime routine, health, wellness, financial management. None of that stuff gets taught at school. So we've got another series called the Secret Alien Diaries that focuses on that, and we have some other exciting things to keep compounding this idea of alternative physical education that we're on this journey of. And we find that it's amazing, like what can be done and can be created now with the internet, and the fact that we're doing this from all over the world. Like I'm in Brazil, these guys are in London, another guy's in Switzerland, and we have people from all over the world buying our stuff because we're doing it on Amazon, and Amazon's everywhere. So it's facilitating these kinds of things. So we're excited with this project, and we've partnered with a charity called CamFed as well. I'm giving the whole speech. So CamFed is an organization, charity that's a campaign for female education for underprivileged girls in Africa. So every book we sell, it goes towards funding one day of schooling for one of these girls. So if you buy our books, you help support them as well.
And I think we're on what for like 800 days or something at the moment, which is mad. Blowing our mind, and we're really lucky, I think, that we're able to do this together. Like, obviously, this whole like relationship with each other started off when we were kids, growing up together. But like Fahad said, we're obviously all over the world, but still coming together. Excuse me, to put these books together, and it's cool because everyone's got their own little role in it. Shmoyel and I did the writing. Fahad is in charge of business and making sure we're on job. And Anusheh is like self-taught wizard, I don't know what, even Adobe InDesign and I don't know what else, but she basically formats the books, put the illustrations in the right place, absolute perfectionist, and they're very cool.
Yeah,
they are really cool books. And where can one buy them from?
You can go on our website, ourstory.media, and they'll send you to Amazon, or you can search directly on Amazon for either the Our Story series or the Secret Alien Diaries. Those are the two series that we have live right now. And we've done the Secret Alien Diaries in conjunction with fifth partner that isn't on this podcast because he's not blood family, but he went to university with me, and he's basically an expert in educational content for kids. So he's given us very much the professional stamp of approval and making sure that the content is as educational and follows the format. So kids can get the most out of it, phonetically, cognitively, all of that stuff. So this has been a learning experience.
While we're on the topic of kids, can we just applaud Sami on breaking the stereotypes of fathers being able to look after their Asian fathers and daddy
Sami,
duties?
Nah, I'm good.
Lift.
Look at that! Look at that!
She's our youngest. Oh, boo boo. She's our youngest family member now.
Yeah.
I'd like to take credit, man, but honestly, I've learned everything from the wife. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff. And after going through childbirth, albeit indirectly, like my women superheroes. Honestly, it is mad what you guys do. Absolutely mad.
This is exactly why men need to be there when their wives are giving birth.
No, it is.
Because they need to understand the trauma that a woman goes through. But Sami, is Sarah going to be a doctor, an engineer, or a lawyer?
No,
Which one have you chosen?
Are you mad? She's going to be the first brown person to play football and cricket for England, isn't it?
Oh, I like that.
Yes. Of course,
Big
I
move.
love that.
Inshallah, we'll be writing a book about her one day.
Inshallah.
Jamal, what did you want to be when you grew up?
What, me?
Yeah. What do you want to be when you grew up?
Footballer, isn't it? That's what every guy wanted to be. Growing up in London.
Yeah, but you did. You mean you had a shot before you got injured, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had.
I think you've broken against all the stereotypes. Tell us your career trajectory. You've done everything.
I've done a fair bit of stuff, alhamdulillah. I've done, like I said, I got scouted and had trials with Roma, which was cool. Then I had an injury, got into modelling. Modelling was a weird one as in UK as a South Asian when I started. That was in like 2008, 2009 I got scouted for Models One. Pretty big agency, but I was like on a portfolio of like 380 male models or 280, something like that. I was the only South Asian guy. And I don't know if you know Neelam Gill, the one who's like, she was like the face of Burberry. She was the only other South Asian in the agency as me, same agency. And so her modeling career went like this, mine kind of went. But it was it was an interesting time. You'd go to castings and like they literally told me when I'd go to castings, like, we're not expecting you to get as many jobs as the other people because the industry is racist. That was 2008, and like you didn't really think much of it at the time because it's like, okay, whatever. Now people will be like, oh my god, that's terrible. But that's just the way it was back then.
Fahad, how come you didn't do any of those things?
I'm not as good looking as my brother. I'm not as tall as him.
That's a lie.
No, I had as oldest. It's not. Older brother, eldest son kind of responsibilities and vibe, and in the Asian family, like you kind of just absorb it. So you have that kind of pressure kind of on you automatically, where you don't feel as free to go down the creative route necessarily. But I still was adamant to not go down the traditional route of like medicine and like I did not want to do that. I wanted to stay a bit off center. So I ended up finding like real estate, but the co-living stuff, and it was interesting, different. But having done it over here in South America, because it's a developing country, they also, I mean, it's very rare to come across a Pakistani person here. It's a novelty. So
I was gonna say, how many people, how many desis have you come across?
Very few.
Because you're quite
right now. I'm very remote. I'm away from the city. But in Argentina, I was in the city in Buenos Aires for 7 years or so, and there you did find the odd desi. There was a couple of tech engineers who were like flown in to do tech work that you bumped into, and then the odd one at the masjid. But the masjid had had people from everywhere. It was more international.
That masjid was
Yeah,
epic.
you went to it, yeah, when you came to check it out.
Yeah, that masjid was incredible, man. It was very, very
Apparently,
cool.
it's the biggest one in South America.
I
Yeah, King
remember,
Fahad. It's called King Fahad.
I remember once
So,
I was talking to the Argentinian ambassador to the UAE, and then he's like, Shadi, you should come to Argentina and stuff. And I was like, yeah, my cousin lives there. And he's like, um, there aren't many people that look like you
yeah.
there. And I said, oh, when you see one, that's my cousin. Say hi.
Pretty much, man. It was interesting because people are more curious than they have than prejudice, because it's such a new thing. So like when you get in a taxi and if I'm going to the mosque on Friday, like I tell them where I'm going, they're like, "Oh, so where are you from?" So then we start talking, and it's more out of curiosity than any prejudice. Like that's how I felt at least.
Hmm.
Um, even with because I think there's no threat of people taking their jobs, right? So they're just like a thing that's
Mm.
around, and there's something new that they've seen on TV before. So it's a different energy,
Mm.
but there is still that same stuff that Shmoyel was talking about with this agency. Like I had meetings in all these real estate, offices and people with big money, pension funds or whatever, and it's very very white in those rooms. Even if the population is mixed, like in
Mm.
Brazil, I was hoping that in those meetings there would be a bit more of a mixture of colors, because outside is every color under the sun. But in these rooms where the money was or where the decisions were made, I was still the dark guy in the room. And I realized one of the main reasons for that is because I was afforded education, and that's why we've gone like I'm really adamant to try and go down this educational route, because it's the only differential really, of like being able to be in these rooms or not. So I think it's important for people to feel like it's possible to do things and be educated about it.
Yeah, I think also like with education, especially with the Our Story series, which we're doing, like one of the main reasons we wanted to do it is because we would have loved to have seen people who look like us in the curriculum. Because there's always especially growing up as a minority in the UK, you do kind of take on some, I don't know, some kind of, I wouldn't say traumas, but you just you see things differently. So to see yourself represented in a positive way, in a way which inspires you to be like, oh my God, someone who looks like me went on and achieved that. It's a massive thing. So, all this talk about representation is very necessary and is very important. So I'm glad we're doing this project.
Yeah, me too. And it's really interesting. It's a fun way to learn, right? So, and I think
Yeah.
that's what's missing with kids now. And like Fahad like hit the nail on the head, that they don't learn about enough experiences on how to live life once you finish school, because it's so textbook heavy. When we were growing up, everything was textbook heavy, and I never ever agreed with exams being the basis of your results or your capabilities, because it's like interviews. Some people are really great at their jobs, but they suck at interviews, and vice versa. So the fact that everything's changed now in education, even in terms of it's kind of like coursework related, coursework based and exam based, that there's a whole mixture. It's just a much better way of assessing somewhat an individual's kind of capabilities, rather than just basing it on how good you can memorize something.
I
Never
mean, it
agreed
goes
with that.
to the fundamentals
Lost
of
Anusheh.
how we're all divided up by year groups. Like in the real world, you don't work with everyone who's your age. Um, there's a big difference between.
Sorry, it
Sorry,
froze there.
I
Fahad,
said
say that again.
I was
Start
saying
again.
it goes down to is the fundamentals of how we're divided up to even go into school is by year group. When in the real world, when you start to work, everyone's not your age. It's all different people from all different ages that you collaborate with. So the fact that you're divided like that, like cattle, it doesn't make any sense. It makes more sense to move people around based on what their abilities are, and then to just collaborate with other people from different age groups, because that's more real. Um, than the way we are currently systematically taught. So yeah, there's a lot to do. Change. AI is doing all kinds of things. One interesting line I heard about AI is it's going to turn everyone into either consumers or creators. So we just need to try and create stuff to create more creators, because consumers is everyone sitting on TikTok, and that's one side of one way of living. But I think we can create more stuff with AI if we know how to.
TikTok is life skills, okay? I'm like learning. TikTok is giving life. I know like we need to wrap up, but the link to our story media is going to be in the bio. Please do buy the books, and remember, like a lot of this money is going to underprivileged girls. So buy Camp Fed, teach your kids, help them learn in other ways, use them as gifts. They make wonderful, wonderful gifts as well. So the link is in the bio. But before we go, two things. One is, if you were a Desi sweet, what would you be?
Anusheh, you go first.
Laddu.
Why would you be a laddu, Anusheh?
Because I like laddu.
That's such a boring answer.
I
What's the answer,
love
Sham?
laddu.
I
I love laddu. Actually, I do love laddu. We all know how much I love laddu. So
yeah,
She does.
let's not even go there.
you do love
What would
What's yours,
be,
Ned?
Sham? Oh, I think either chocolate barfi or jalebi. And before you say why? It's just because I just want to eat it right now, to be honest.
Strong choices. Yeah, it's not long to left. There's not long to the fire, is it?
Yeah.
But maybe chocolate barfi.
Wait, I'll say rasmalai.
Yeah. But Ambala's rasmalai. I like
Oh,
Ambala's.
it's very specific.
Sami, what would you be?
Pistachio barfi, maybe?
Ooh, pistachio.
Yeah, pistachio barfi.
Repping the green of the flag.
Correct, I'm 100%.
Sham, what are you?
Oh, I was going to say that,
Habshi
bro.
halwa.
What are you doing?
What?
Because I'm brown and a little bit nuts.
Oh,
I like that.
I like that.
Good.
I like that. Sorry, Fahad, what are
Chocolate
you?
barfi's brown on the outside. Yeah, outside, white on the inside. No, I'm not white on the inside. That doesn't apply.
I don't know, I'm still Habshi halwa, but I don't have as good of a reason. It's just I like it.
It is nice.
Too many good Desi sweets, man.
Everyone likes me.
I'm jamun. I'm like, sometimes I'm gulab jamun because sometimes I get really fat, and then sometimes I'm the other, like the brown one when I'm skinny.
What?
Gulab jamun.
Gulab jamun is the when I'm fat. Yeah, and the brown one, the light brown one.
Aren't they both fat?
What are they called? Huh?
Are they the same size?
You're
No.
okay. You're the
I thought you were going to say it's
you're
when
the
you're
Germans
dry.
depending on when you've been on holiday or before holiday and after holiday.
I reckon in Shah's yard they were skinny because Ned had already eaten half of it. She's like, oh, that's skinny jamun.
Yeah, that's the healthy one. Ned's on the health flex. Okay, so lastly then, what's brown got to do with it for you? What makes you brown?
I mean, yeah.
Pigment, isn't it?
My foundation.
It's like
I'm just brown, isn't it?
Never thought of that. No, what's brown got to do with it for you? What does being brown mean to you?
Calling everyone auntie or uncle.
Like built-in respect.
Watching Georgita Way Sikandar for half your childhood because of
best
someone's
movie ever.
obsession. Fun fact about Shmoyel. this boy used to wake up and eat, breathe, sleep Georgita Wahi Sikandar. Like, we lived that film. We were in that film. We were that
So
film.
much so, I was a record breaker, Guinness Book of World Records for youngest person to ride a two-wheeler bike because of that movie.
No way.
This is also true. That was, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember this.
Oh, I'm not that old.
Yeah, most random thing. I could ride a bike before I could talk. Weird.
And before he could talk, he could say all the lyrics to Georgie the way, all the dialogues. Let's face it. For the longest time, Yaha ke hum Sikandar, chahe to that was the national anthem.
Chahe tum kuch na kaho, maine sun liya.
That's the clip for the podcast intro.
Ke saathi pyar ka
Mujhe chun liya.
chun liya. Okay, yeah, I can sing that. Yeah. What's brown got to do with it? You've done this. You've done so many podcasts now. Have you not got an
Everyone
answer for
has
that
their
yet?
own answer.
I'm always exploring.
Yeah.
Always exploring answers.
Oh,
Everyone
wow.
has a different answer.
Well, I'll go off what Nida was saying.
Everyone has their own
I'll go off
round
what Nida
journey.
was saying, which is
Sorry, say that
essentially
again?
the auntie-uncle thing is like a built-in respect that's in the DNA amongst, for me at least, some brown people I see generally. There's like this kind of understanding of hierarchy.
And family.
Mhm.
I think it's
Yeah.
family sort of orientated, right?
I
Look at
agree.
us.
But again, I don't know how specific
I
that
love
is
my
to
family, even though you
us
all drive me
Pakistanis and
mad
how
at
much
times.
that is just
No, but it
Especially
is.
Shmoyel.
Who's your favourite, Shad?
Oh,
What's
Sarah.
my favourite one?
safe answer.
Husband. Not sibling.
Nitha's my favourite sibling.
Yay! You're mine.
You're my favourite sister in the whole world.
Who's yours, Fahad?
Anusha's my favorite sister in the whole world. Shmoyel's my favorite brother. And
Thank you.
Okay, wait. Who's your favourite cousin?
you asking who?
Sami, I'm looking at you now.
Who's my favourite cousin?
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's actually a very hard question.
Yeah, 'cause
Or like, in all seriousness, because
70.
like Fahad said,
Is it Sami?
it's no, but do you know what? For real though, it is hard because obviously growing up, I would have easily said Fahad because obviously like we were very close. We used to come over to your house all the time. We used to hang out all the time, and it was like me and Fahad were always like doing stuff, and you and Azim would always be doing stuff. But obviously, growing up, Fahad's left the country now lives in Brazil, so it's like there's still that close. There's still that closeness. Like when we talk, when we chat, whatever, we have the meetings about our story. Whenever he's in the country, it's still cool. It changes, man. But going back to what Fahad or I think Neda was saying, one of you two, or no, Anusha said it, family. Like what's Brown got to do with it? That is at its heart. Like community, family is massive, massive, and it was instilled in us when we were young from our parents, and obviously it went down from their parents. And inshallah, hopefully, it's something that I'd like to instill in the next generation as well, because it is so nice that we can still do this. You know, like we're all getting old, like older than we were back in the day, and like, but we're still able to jump on a call, chat, catch jokes, and like, even though I haven't seen some of you guys for years, like for ages, it's still really, really nice when we do stuff like this. So, alhamdulillah, man.
It never changes. I think that's it. Like, doesn't matter
Yeah.
how long it's been since, and you know, I appreciate this, and Fahad, you know, I know that you can appreciate this. You can be as far away and not see each other for the longest time, but when you do, it's like nothing ever changes, and that's the best part. But the foundation of that, like you said, was growing up, right? And just spending. I mean, are you even Brown if you haven't spent all your holidays at one of your cousin's house, like every waking moment and stuff? And it's definitely one of the things that I like to instill in Oman, and especially as him being the only child, and you know, so far away and not having cousins or siblings close by. And that is, you know, how important family is. And I love that, you know, he's so close to all of you. and he has like a special bond with each of you individually. So on that note, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Everyone, buy the books. And hopefully we can do this again when you guys actually have something substantial to say.